What is going on YouTube? Welcome to Lisa's West Coast, East Coast siblings. We're getting a little YouTube crazy. We break down your favorite movies and TV shows here. Tonight we are talking The Flash. I've got to change the title of this episode. This is episode 10, correct?
Yes. Hold
yes.
on.
So here's the thing, guys. It is episode 10. Here's the thing. So tonight there's no episode of The Flash. So it actually works out well.
No, it's episode 11.
What?
It's episode 11.
Oh, you're right. So
yeah.
It actually works out pretty well that we were a little late doing our episode 10 review. Last week's was what?
Last week's was 11.
Okay, so it's a good thing that we were a little late on our episode 11 because tonight there's no episode. So tonight is going to be our reaction, review, breakdown, biggest takeaways, all rolled into one episode. More. It's I'm going to let Sydney take the lead on this one because I feel like a broken record personally. Sydney, let's break it down. Before we get started, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, click the bell so you don't miss. Let's get into it.
So... yeah, it really is broken record. Basically, I would say what sums up this whole episode is that basically we solved all of our problems through the power of love. Okay? So let's just talk about what happened first.
I have nothing to say.
So basically, the city is like a hot mess. Nora is threatening to rip the city apart if she doesn't get all the forces together. Barry and Iris try to go into the Speed Force, which confused me. Maybe I didn't hear that part, but I don't know how they were inside the Speed Force when Nora is the Speed Force. So that was a little off to me, but maybe, I don't know. Anyway, so they go to the Speed Force.
If you're looking for it to make sense, that's your first mistake. The second mistake, obviously there's been this big theme of love and all this stuff. Listen, I know in real life people are going through some hard times, right? 2020 was a really tough year. 2021, we're trying to climb out of it. It's still very tough. But I feel like a lot of the writers have taken this into their show, right?
But The Flash has always been about love.
No.
Even in the comic books, it's been like that. No, it totally has. Generations of speedsters, family, characters.
The show has always...
It's a thing. I'm just saying.
The show has always been about love, Sydney. It has not always been love the bad guys to death or welcome them into not being evil anymore.
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about. I know that there's been themes of, you could say themes of love. I don't think the Reverse Flash and Savitar was all about love. It wasn't all about love.
It wasn't all about it, but that's what made it
maybe
so
that was a
good.
core tenet of the reason that Barry found it in himself to defeat the villain, but it was not loving Savitar into goodness. It was not loving these characters. So this is what I mean. So the problem is with this show, they've gone so far away from what it originally was, and I think it's because, like I was saying, the pandemic and things that are going on in the world has caused the writers to pour so much of that emotionally into the show. Now, here's the problem with that, is that people often watch TV shows to escape these things, to escape the world that they live in and find their joy in superheroes. And that's just not what we've gotten with The Flash this season.
Yes. I mostly agree with you. My only disagreement is that, because of COVID, they can't do the same types of things that they did pre-COVID, like the fight scenes and whatnot. Even though, Caitlin had a fight scene with her steamy, icy new boyfriend. I don't know why Barry couldn't have some good.
So he's back, and the biggest thing from this episode, guys, is that Killer Frost is free. Now,
yeah.
I'm glad. Honestly, I'm glad. This is kind of where bad writing comes to the rescue, because realistically, she should never have gotten out of that, especially if she was in the perfect mind and will to give herself life in prison and to pay that time forever. She would not have gotten out. But because of, I'm going to say, bad writing, she's free in a couple of episodes.
I don't agree with the Killer Frost thing. It was like a big wet fart. Like, literally, she was gone for 2 episodes, and that's exactly how I felt. Yeah, exactly. She was gone for like 2 episodes. We think she's going to be locked away in prison forever, and she's back. And like the way she explained it was so like, she was just like, yeah, I helped put some prisoners back and they gave me a pardon and blah, blah, blah. And now she's like free. Like, it was so anticlimactic.
It's
Yeah, it was a little.
ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's bad writing is what it is.
Yeah.
Don't play with our heartstrings like that. But you know what? I'll take it, because as many times as they've done the same thing as kill Wells, I'm glad that they tried something else for a change. The back half of this season is not shaping up too good. They seem to be still with the same MO. And I know, sometimes, and here's the thing, guys, I just want to, it's a quick PSA. I know a lot of our subs, right? A lot of you guys, our Sibz, disagree with me on this. And that's okay. As a community, we can disagree. Right now, I know a lot of you guys are feeling what Sydney's saying, like, oh, give it a chance, it'll get back together. And I'm very hopeful as well. That's why I continue to watch the show. But I cannot every week come back and not get tired of this. Like, emotionally, I cannot. I get really worn out by the same stuff over and over again. But let's talk about Nora and kind of what's happening with her and the Speed Force and everybody coming together.
Yeah, so basically at the end of this episode, Nora and the other Speed Forces kind of embrace each other as family. They're all together now, which is really weird. I was so uncomfortable with them all calling each other bro and sis and mom and dad. It's like, ew, like they're not your parents. It was
like
weird.
You don't know these people.
Yeah, but anyway, so they all come together, and there's a really cool scene where they kind of, they have the classic run, Barry, run, and they juice him up, and he runs and, stops the thing. But basically, the way this episode ends is that all of the Speed Forces decide to live together in Nora, the Speed Force, and sort of create a new world for themselves. But we also know that Godspeed is coming, and with all of the other forces being inside the Speed Force, more than likely the Speed Forces that are in there are going to be there to juice up Barry for Godspeed.
Here's the problem. And here's a prediction and a problem. The first thing, it'd be really interesting if the combination of all those forces came together to create Godspeed, and the fact that they were in there somehow created Godspeed. The second thing, here's the problem. With the way that this season has been going, I don't have much hope for Godspeed in this series. I hope that he's amazing. I hope that he's everything we expected from the comments. Also, guys, we got the live chat going, so be sure to hit us up in the comment. This is a risk, but we trust y'all. Live chat will show up right here, right in the show, so feel free to hit us up with your questions and comments. But Sid, this is what I'm thinking. With the way that this show is going, I feel like no matter how much they drum up this character into something awesome, they're going to stop him with counseling and love.
What's actually going to make me angry? I thought Godspeed, like Savitar, would be working throughout the season from the beginning, and we just didn't know what to call him till after the mid-season finale. But I honestly think that they might have Godspeed and defeat him within the back 8 episodes of this season. That would be disappointing.
No, I think Godspeed, 8 episodes is enough. 2 months?
I mean, I guess, but I mean, to change up the flow, it would be nice to have him over the end of season 7 and then the beginning of season 8. I think that would be a nice change up.
That's fair enough. I think Godspeed deserves that. For me, I've always been the type, I don't like to end, I don't like ending big villains at the beginning or at the middle of a season. I feel like big villains should only come at the end. They should only be, not come at the end, but they should always be defeated at the end of the season or whatever it may be. You look at a Thanos, you look at like a Steppenwolf from Justice League, like those characters, you can't kill them halfway through unless there's an even bigger threat. You know what I mean? And I feel like if they were to take this in the next season, Godspeed would arguably the biggest villain of that season, even if he died in the beginning or midway through. Because who are you going to, if not Reverse Flash or somebody we've seen,
I'm just saying it would be a nice structural change up, instead of having a big bad for 24 episodes, we have him for back 8, and then we have him for the first 10. Or,
fair enough. I mean, at this point, I'll take anything new.
Anyway, also, speaking of new, at the end of this episode, Barry and Iris go make Impulse. Now, isn't that exciting? Yeah, it was a really strange ending. It was a little uncomfortable. But that's great. It's really exciting. I'm excited to see Bart. I'm confused, though, because I thought Bart was Barry's grandson in the comic books, not his son's son.
Yeah, they're taking some liberty with the comics here. The whole Flash family has been different from time to time. Impulse is the child of Barry and Iris, though. I think no. Kid
No,
Flash is the
yeah,
child
Kid
of
Flash.
Barry and Iris, and
No,
Impulse
well,
is his son. Yeah, I mean, in different variations.
in different, yeah, but
Yeah.
usually Impulse is always their grandson. But,
Correct. That is correct. But because they already did Kid Flash with Iris's brother, they kind of just had to go straight to Impulse. And even with what was Nora's name?
Nora.
Her Flash name.
Excess.
Excess. I thought you were gonna say ecstasy or something. I'm like, whoa. But yeah, so I mean, they're obviously playing around with the Flash family here, which is cool. I'm okay with that because guess what? It's one of the things that keeps me coming back, keeps me a little interested. Okay, what are they gonna do? How are they gonna play around with these timelines? Because we know it ain't the way to kill the villains.
Their strong family love and binds is what brings you back. Listen, I like the Flash family. I think it's great. I've always liked it, but we need to do some other things. There are other things to do. But I am excited to see Bart. I think that'll be cool. What else happened in this episode? Oh, some weirdness going on between Chester and Allegra. Maybe some romance. Maybe a little
Chester P. Rump and Allegra.
Yeah, that was really uncomfortable. Once again, everyone was just really uncomfortable in this episode.
Now here's the thing with that. Because of the whole thing with Cisco and his girl, I think that maybe that it drummed up a romance between Allegra and Chester, probably in a way that they didn't intend. I actually don't think that.
No, I think it is intentional. But sorry, I just realized that there aren't any like same race couples in this show if Chester and Allegra get together, except for Joe and Cecile.
Oh, how dare they?
Everybody's so interracial. It's lovely. It's lovely. It's great. It's actually really, really nice to see on TV.
You have a problem with that?
No, it's nice to see on TV. It's just I just realized that, like, yeah.
That's interesting. And you know what's so interesting about that? It is yet another thing that we did not come here to see. You know, we came here to see action, bam, bam, pow. It's the Flash. It's a superhero. Arguably, some people will argue the most powerful superhero in all of DC. There is no... You want to do love and charity in that mess? Do that with the Green Arrow. Do that with Plastic Man. Like Superman, Batman, and the Flash, Wonder Woman, you don't play with them on that power. Like, we came to see the best. It's like an Incredible Hulk movie that deals with the villains in love. Like, that is so far from what the Hulk is about.
Yeah, I really didn't like how they were talking about Nora / the Speed Force and her humanity. How they created her in love, and so she had to have some humanity. I was like, the Speed Force is not human. That's the whole point. Her in love. It's not human. Yeah.
Yeah, and the Speed Force was not
the artificial Speed Force was created in love. And so I guess that's what sparked the real Speed Force and all of the other forces. They were all made in love. And I'm like, they were not made in love. Iris was stressed out
of it. Like, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of all this love jargon. Love is great. Love makes the world go round, but it's not what's going to keep the Flash on air. I'll just say that. Straight up, love is not going to keep this show on TV.
Yeah.
That's like This Is Us type stuff, or, you know, like I'm just...
Yeah, it was a little too much. I mean, it was still good. I still like the Flash, man. It's going to take a lot.
I like the Flash. I do not like this season. I don't like the past couple of seasons. This season. Yeah,
this
but you know what? Yeah, go ahead.
This season is the worst by far.
Yes, the worst by far. Yeah, by far. But guys, listen, with all this being said, that's just our 2 cents, literally. I've got a cent, she's got a cent, not even 4 cents.
2 people.
Take it with a grain. Take it with a grain of salt, guys. And of course, we're ready to chat it up with you guys all week. So hit us up in the comments down below. What are your theories for the Flash? Obviously, they took off tonight, so no new episode, but Superman and Lois is coming on in about 15 minutes as of this live stream. So stick around, hit the subscribe button, click the like button, and click the bell. With that, don't mind me. Click the bell. Clicking the bell, guys, gives you a little notification on your phone when we go live or drop new videos. So help us grow this community. It is an awesome time watching our favorite movies and TV shows with you guys. I'm Chris. That's it. That's Sydney. Thanks so much for watching. And we'll see you in the next one. West Coast, East Coast siblings. Peace.